So I was watching a video by Engineering Explained in regards to why you may not want to buy a turbocharged car. And, I watched the whole thing. He did bring up some points, but, the more he was bringing up those points, the more I realized it's really a shame that Saab is no more, because Saab got the whole turbocharging thing 100% correct. One of the points that Jason in Engineering Explained had brought up was, well, one, the engine sound. Turbos naturally have the effect of quieting down the engine. I always say that they act as a separate resonator. However, it seems that Saab actually tuned the engines so you can still get that NA sound. You have that burble from the T7 series and T5 series, 2.3 liters. You still get that nice burbly sound, but you also get the sounds from the turbo itself as well. The one thing that, yes, Jason was 1.5% correct on was the fact that the amount of heat that a turbo generates is insane. So in regards to oil life and whatnot, turbocharged cars are hard on that. At the same time, he had mentioned turbo lag and the torque curve and whatnot. And I mean, I'm driving a 2005 Saab 9.5 Aero, and the torque curve is max torque at 1900 RPM all the way up to, 4500 RPM? And then from there, the horsepower takes over. So, you're good that way. So I do agree with some of his points, but not all of his points. And a lot of his stuff does not apply to Saab. I just wanted to get that out there. I was hoping that there would be less slowpoke people driving on the road, because I was going to demonstrate the sound of the engine in regards to what I was mentioning, where I think Jason got it wrong. Well, at least in regards to Saab. See, that's the problem. Saab was so different and nailed the engineering aspect so perfectly that a lot of these things that apply in general just do not apply to Saabs whatsoever. Something as simple as the engine sound in a turbocharged car, or how the torque curve works. All these things, Saab figured out ways around everything. So there's no waiting for the power. There's no, there's no lag. It just works beautifully. That's pretty much all I can really say. I mean, there's just, if you've never driven a Saab, I'm telling you, that's something that you need to do. It's a different experience, entirely different experience in regards to turbocharging. I mean, Saabs aren't everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. I don't drink tea. I drink coffee. And I like being myself. I don't like following the crowd. I'm not a sheep. I just go with what works for me. And this is what works for me. Well, I'll wait till I get onto the highway here. And then I'll end this video at that point. Hopefully that'll allow me to give enough throttle so the engine sound will actually come out. Get a bit of that turbo mix. Because that's what it's all about, right? Honestly, at the same time, if you want to learn an excruciatingly large, I shouldn't say excruciatingly, but an insane amount of information in regards to cars, how different components work, what not to do, what to do, Engineering Explained is probably the best channel. Every one of his videos is extremely informative. No, I don't personally know him, but if I see something that's good, I'm going to let everybody know. The only thing I wish he would do is, a video on Saab, because that would probably blow his mind in regards to the engineering and, other things that Saab did that are now mainstream, 12 years later. Saab had a lot of firsts, and they were just consistently way ahead of their time. It's just unfortunate that the whole marketing and the cost per vehicle, because of that, all that re-engineering and making sure that it had to be a certain way, and they never compromised. It does cost a lot of money, and eventually that came back to bite them in the A, so to speak. So it's unfortunate, but you know, it happens with many businesses. And all right, here we go. And that's it. I'm gonna end it there. Anyway, you will see me on the next video.